What up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Matt Wyatt. So I went out to go see the new M. Night Shyamalan movie called Trap. It's starring Josh Hartnett, and it's really about him playing a loving father who takes his 12-year-old daughter to a concert that is attended by 30,000 people. And this pop star artist, Raven, is the most popular pop star artist in the world. And we later find out in the movie that it's made to be a trap. It was made to trap the serial killer who goes off and butchers people for a living, and we find out the twist that Josh Hartnett was actually the butcher the whole time. And later throughout the whole movie, we see him try to find an escape route, trying to find a way to escape the concert. At first, when they put out this first trailer, I thought that they were just going to show us who will be the butcher, but apparently they showed us the twist that Josh Hartnett is the serial killer the whole time. And I thought that was a major giveaway plot twist, but apparently that's not the case. That's not the main plot twist, and I was going to keep an open mind and going in and see how the third act plays out, that maybe there's more surprises that they're going to try to give, which we it begs us to question who's the one that tipped off the feds about the butcher attending that concert. How did they know about it? How did they get his receipt? Who's the source? And throughout the whole movie, we try to see who is the one who tipped him off in the first place. But also throughout the whole movie, through the first two-thirds of the film, we really started to really care and sympathize with the serial killer, even though that he is a monster. But he comes off as more of a charismatic who really cares about his daughter, who wants to give her everything she wants and give her in meeting this famous pop star artist, which I thought was a very appealing. And I thought the chemistry between him and the daughter was so good, and I was really bought into that. And I love how they make us feel like we're spending throughout the whole movie, throughout the concert, and we're falling from the butcher's perspective, and we're feeling like we're the audience around this concert event. And the way they made this so authentic and very believable in the first two acts of the film, I feel like I was easily transported. And even the background actors were a lot more interesting, especially the one character that was in the trailer, the one who was selling the merch, really told him everything that's going on, even though he's not supposed to say, because it's supposed to be classified, but he went ahead and did it anyway. But that's the one thing you got to learn. Like, if you're working at that event and your task is to not tell the secrets of what's really going on and what's really going to go down in that concert, you got to be cautious of who you're going to run into, because it could be anybody. Don't what would you think of what would have happened if he had not opened up his big mouth and actually revealed what's really going down? I don't know, it might have had a different drastic outcome, because even though that Josh Hartnett's character, who had his suspicions of why that there's a bunch of policemen and a bunch of SWAT teams guarding the every interest of the concert. It's crazy. It keeps it keeps the tension, it keeps the suspense, and I thought it really worked for the first two acts, and I thought the pacing was on point, and I never felt like it was dragging, and I never felt like it was dragging on for too long. I never felt bored, and I'm glad that M. Night Shyamalan is continuing to bringing shooting the movie on 35 millimeter, because that's what he did with his last movie, Knock at the Cabin, and I appreciate that he's bringing back the crazy suspense thriller that it could have been made back in the 1990s, and this is where he was at his best. Now, my biggest negative of the film, I don't think it's perfect, and I don't think it's going to win any Oscars, or it's going to be one of my favorite movies of the year. The thing that was the biggest weakness was the third act. Now we get into the third act without revealing anything. Now you start to flip the script and not really care for him that much anymore. Now we don't like him anymore. And I don't want to say too much, but I feel like it kind of dragged out the third act a little too long. And yes, I was very satisfied with the plot twist, and I thought, yeah, that makes sense of who tipped him off, and I thought it really worked for most parts. But there were some logical decisions that really didn't make any sense, that felt a little bit of far-fetched at times. I don't know. Maybe if I rewatch that film again, I will start to have a deeper appreciation. And I was a little expecting a lot of body count in the movie, and apparently there's not a lot. There's at least one body count, and that's about it. But throughout the first two acts of the film, you just want to see how he's going to get out of it without getting caught by the feds. And it really worked, and it kept us on edge, and we were honestly rooting for him to get the hell out and not get caught. and he's willing to take far extreme measures to do so, no matter what. And I thought Josh Hartnett's performance was absolutely incredible. I thought the daughter was great. She didn't really annoy me, and I thought the daughter was going to annoy me, but no, I really thought she did a great job with her acting. The cinematography was beautiful. I thought the background actors felt very authentic, and that it was not done on a like CG background green screens, which that because we don't often get a lot of locations that were shot in a real environment that often. The only time that we do is when we watch the new Nolan films. That really was the only filmmaker that will not do any CGI, period. Which I get it. Sometimes it works for the most part, depending what movie you're making, and especially with M. Night Shyamalan. And I thought that this was where he was at his best for the first two acts. But the third act really kind of fell apart for me, where it kind of felt so anticlimactic. But I will say, I had no idea that there was going to be a mid-credit scene. I thought that they just like roll the credits and then we get up out of our seats, and and at the time people were starting to leave, and then and then they start showing the mid-credit scene, and they stopped for a moment to see what the hell happened. And I'm not gonna lie, everybody in my theater, including myself, was laughing their ass off. I thought it was priceless, even though that we didn't really need that, but it kind of, at the same time, it was kind of a great reaction to it, and I had a good experience. Look, I'm a big supporter of an original films that are non-existing IP when it comes to suspense films. And I think M. Night Shyamalan is slowly getting back to what he knows best. I'm not going to say that this is a big win. I'm not going to say that this is a movie that you just have to rush out to see in the cinema. I still think you should see it and give it a chance. I'm not going to say that this movie is made for everybody, because right now the reviews have been very mixed with the audience and critics right now on Rotten Tomatoes. And I can understand why people didn't like this movie and feel like that this movie was not made for everybody. But for me, I thought it was a pretty solid movie at its best. And I say just go in with with an open mind and judge it for yourself, and judge it on its own merits, and not going in there a preconceived notion of what you want this film to be, because I feel like that's kind of a dangerous thing to do when you're going into a movie like this. For me, this was a pretty solid movie. My score, I will give this movie a 7 out of 10 rating. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button on my video if you enjoyed watching my review. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you know when my upcoming movies reviews start to drop. I appreciate you guys supporting my channel. My goal is to reach 500 subscribers. And if you want to follow my social media links, the link tree would be down in the description below. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from. Go and check out my latest review of Deadpool and Wolverine, my non-spoiler review. I do have a spoiler discussion that I did on another channel that I did a while ago. Go and check that out. That's on my YouTube playlist that I put out, so you'll know where to find it. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more of my content.